Fabio reviews CCTV footage and makes a shocking discovery: Maka was the one who stole Antonio's phone. He confronts her, furious that her actions led to Antonio being falsely accused of exploiting inmates, resulting in his dismissal. Maka explains she only took the phone to make an urgent call and never intended for Antonio to suffer. Meanwhile, Leopoldo, Maka's father and a former army officer, uses his old connections to arrange a private meeting with Fabio through Castillo. He pleads with Fabio to look out for Maka and offer her some form of protection inside the prison. Word has also reached Castillo that Maka may be in possession of Yolanda's missing SIM card. Curious, Castillo questions Leopoldo about whether Maka is planning to recover Yolanda's hidden money. Leopoldo denies everything, insisting Maka is not involved. Elsewhere in the prison, tension rises between Zulema and Hanbal. Guard Valbuena, irritated by their smug power plays, manipulates the situation by convincing Tyr to plant drugs in Zulema's belongings, making sure Hanbal sees it. Since Hanbal dominates the drug trade in prison, the idea of a rival operating behind her back sends her into a rage. Meanwhile, Miranda and Fabio interrogate Tyr once more. This time, she finally comes clean, admitting that she lied about being pregnant and falsely accused Antonio. In an effort to dig deeper into Maka's activities, Castillo strikes a secret deal with Rizos. He offers her an early release in exchange for spying on Maka. Rizos reluctantly agrees. A listening device is hidden on her, and she's sent back into the prison population. Rizos participates in a group therapy session led by Sandoval, where she reconnects with Saray and makes peace. As prison politics heat up, Hanbal confronts Zulema over the supposed turf war for drug distribution. Zulema denies everything, but Hanbal isn't convinced. In retaliation, she brutally beats one of Zulema's loyal followers. Meanwhile, Maka, desperate and overwhelmed, tries to order abortion pills from Hanbal, but Hanbal mocks her, telling her orders must be placed at least 2 weeks in advance. Back in the cell, Rizos and Maka mend their relationship. Feeling safe, Maka confesses that she did, in fact, find Yolanda's SIM card. Rizos passes this information on, and soon after, Castillo brings Maka in for questioning. Maka admits she saw photos on Yolanda's account, images of a location in the woods that may point to the hidden money. She claims to have flushed the SIM card down the drain, but the lead is enough for Castillo and Fabio to act. They take Maka to the forest, hoping she can help identify the location. Unbeknownst to them, Hanbal, still tracking Leopoldo and Roman, is also in the area, searching for the same stash. As the police spot Hanbal, chaos erupts. A gunfight breaks out. Caught off guard, Leopoldo and Roman flee the scene. In the crossfire, Hanbal fatally shoots Castillo's partner and injures both Castillo and Fabio, while Maka stands frozen, paralyzed by the horror unfolding in front of her. Maka flees from the crime scene, blood on her body after trying to save Fabio and Castillo. Gun in hand, she runs in panic to protect herself but is stopped by the police. 10 days later, Maka is still traumatized by what happened. Everyone in the prison now knows about her pregnancy. And she seems to have decided to keep the baby. Leopoldo and Roman visit her, but Maka, aware that the police are monitoring her, discreetly signals them not to reveal their secret. She indicates she's too shaken by the shootout and wants to abandon the plan to retrieve the 9 million euros. Leopoldo agrees, but Roman refuses. He believes the money is their only way out. Rizos, stressed about life after prison, argues with Governor Miranda about her future. Maka offers to help by connecting her with a job through her uncle at a motorway toll booth. Rizos is initially excited, but overhears Maka's uncle questioning her criminal record, leaving her disheartened. Encarna, Maka's mother, tries to gather money from relatives to help post Maka's bail, but Leopoldo angrily rejects the idea. He doesn't want to burden others with their family's troubles. Meanwhile, Saray's parents visit and pressure her to marry the son of a powerful gypsy clan leader, threatening to kick her out of the community if she refuses, even though Saray has only ever been interested in women. Zulema, present in the visiting room, overhears and intervenes, outing Saray as a lesbian. Her family leaves in disgust. Eventually, out of fear of losing them, Saray agrees to the arranged marriage. Fabio and Castillo recover and return to duty. Zulema suspects that Hanbal has already gotten his hands on the 9 million, but after days of trying to reach him with no success, she starts to believe he's taken the money and disappeared. Maka recounts her time in the forest. While searching for help, she had a tense standoff with Hanbal. They pointed guns at each other before he spared her and asked her to deliver a cryptic message to Zulema: Tahiri Nafsek, purify your soul. Maka delivers the message, which sparks suspicion from Zulema, who violently interrogates Maka, unsure whether she shot Hanbal. Maka denies it. At home, Hanbal breaks into Maka's house while her mother is sedated. He fires a shot into the wall and steals the map revealing the location of the money. Concerned for her unborn child, Maka asks Sandoval for special protection. As always, he demands sexual favors in return. Unable to comply, she confesses to Zulema that she did shoot at Hanbal but missed. She tells Zulema she's no longer afraid and can be dangerous too. Impressed, Zulema assigns one of her followers to serve Maka for a week, though the real intent is to spy on her. The prison struggles with drug smuggling. Tyr repeatedly tests positive. Miranda tasks Antonio with searching staff lockers. He finds drugs in Valbuena's locker but hides them and informs Fabio instead. Fabio criticizes Antonio for being reckless. Castillo visits Leopoldo's house and notices a bullet and a gunshot mark on the couch. Castillo realizes it was Hanbal who fired the shot. Shortly after, Hanbal sends Zulema a €500 banknote with a hidden message on it, a string of numbers. Fabio and Antonio intercept it and recognize that the numbers are a code. Instead of stopping it, the police allow Zulema to receive the banknote, pretending nothing has happened. They suspect the numbers printed on it are actually an Egyptian phone number. The unhinged Hanbal forces Maka to take and pay for abortion pills, despite Maka already telling her she no longer wants them. Hanbal then threatens to drug her with the pills anyway to harm the fetus, using it as leverage for blackmail. Under pressure, Maka is forced to meet with Hannibal's drug dealer and smuggle drugs into the prison by hiding them in her underwear. Later, Sandoval insists on conducting a body search on Maka. This time, feeling completely trapped, she gives in to his advances. Castillo attempts to spy on Zulema's phone call to check if she's speaking with Hanbal. But she is fully aware of their surveillance and doesn't fall for it. Hanbal threatens Maka again after losing the drugs. Overwhelmed, Maka pushes her back in self-defense. Zulema hears about the incident and provokes Hanbal, encouraging her to retaliate. Hanbal gathers her gang, planning to brutally torture Maka. Just as the assault is about to begin, Zulema arrives and saves Maka by paying off Hanbal to release her. Fabio confronts Valbuena about the drugs and gives him an ultimatum: either use the drugs himself or be reported for trafficking. Meanwhile, Leopoldo and Roman track down a van they believe belongs to Hanbal. But when they open it, they find a Dutch family inside. It turns out Hanbal had already ended his rental of the van, and the family are just the new clients. Maka wants to get a paternity test for her baby to prove Simon is the father and strengthen her case in court. However, Sandoval deliberately makes the process difficult. Later, Fabio sees CCTV footage of Maka running naked from Sandoval's office. Suspicious, he confronts her. Maka finally opens up about what really happened. Deeply affected, Fabio comforts her. They hug, share a kiss, and things escalate further between them. Maka also tells Leopoldo about the message Hanbal sent to Zulema: purify your soul. Leopoldo uses this cryptic hint to begin tracking down Hanbal's location. Meanwhile, Fabio confronts Sandoval about his abuse of Maka. But Sandoval brushes it off, claiming that Maka is a pathological liar who manipulates people to get what she wants. Maka tries to report Sandoval's abuse to Miranda, but instead, Miranda informs her that she has tested positive for an STI during a recent gynecological checkup. Maka is shocked and insists it's impossible, she hasn't had sex with anyone in prison. But Miranda doesn't believe her. Maka usually shares a bed with Rizos, though they've only ever made out. Still, Maka suspects Rizos gave her the STI and tells her that being touched every night made her feel violated. Hurt, Rizos accuses Maka of sending mixed signals and not even knowing what she really wants. Meanwhile, Leopoldo and Roman continue trying to decode Hanbal's cryptic message. What they don't realize is that it was an instruction for Zulema to burn herself with hot steam, creating an injury severe enough to get transferred out of the prison by ambulance. Recently, Zulema has been publicly clashing with Hanbal. And she stages the incident to make it look like Hanbal attacked her out of revenge. Leopoldo and Roman hear the news and narrow down the nearby hospital specializing in burn injuries. Based on the distance and timing, they deduce the most likely escape point. Leopoldo is convinced Hanbal's men will attack the ambulance at a specific bridge, while Hanbal himself watches from a distance. When Zulema is escorted to the hospital by the police, Fabio once again confronts Sandoval about blackmailing Maka. But this time, Sandoval shows him a video of Maka smuggling drugs. He adds that every woman in the prison caught smuggling has tested positive for the same STI. Faced with this, Fabio is left speechless and defeated. Later, Sandoval sends 3 masked inmates to tie up and torture Maka as a warning. When she tells Fabio, he doesn't believe her, he insults her and looks at her with disgust. Devastated, Maka returns to her cell, seeking comfort from Rizzo's. As for the escape attempt, Hanbal's men do attack the ambulance transporting Zulema, but the police successfully defend it, and Zulema is taken to the hospital as planned. Meanwhile, Leopoldo and Roman manage to locate and capture Hanbal.